As we prepare this week, as we are today sitting here, we're remembering veterans. We're celebrating veterans, the life of veterans. But let's not forget not only those that gave all in combat and all veterans alike, let's remember a cause that's very passionate to me, very personal. But let's remember to go out and reach out for the veterans that are still battling, the ones that are fighting an internal battle every day. Let's remember to help those the best we can to fight against veteran suicide. Even as far back, still battling the veterans for World War II, Vietnam, some of them are still fighting battles and a lot of them are losing battles. About 22 veterans per day commit suicide. I'm a one-man operation at the moment. I'm recruiting new people to come in for my organization, Contact After Combat. What I would like to build is a support system of each other helping one another. Much like Galatians 6:2 says, bear each other's burdens. And in that we do the will of God. So at Contact After Combat, I want hurting people to help hurting people heal. Because once you start helping outside of your own hurting, you start healing within yourself. It's something personally that I learned to get over my hurting was not only to talk through therapy and talk to doctors about healing, but seeing other people that were hurting and reaching out to them. I believe within, especially if you're a person of faith, and I don't do it to gain blessings or favor at all, but you feel it in your heart and you start changing as you and that friend or friends you're helping start healing together. And that's the thing. I'm wanting to reach out to those that don't feel like they have an outlet in any way possible. So I've always kind of pictured that it's got to start somewhere, and the traction has to start somewhere for us gaining ground for awareness and spreading it against suicide, and in turn for the future preventing what we can. I don't like to say it's inevitable, but it's kind of childish to think that all suicide can stop, but saving one life can start a chain reaction and a ripple effect to save lives on down the road. For a single mother they may go on to marry that has kids that says, hey, I wouldn't have a dad if it wasn't for this guy that came in. So I've personally seen two of those ripple effects happen. And also, a lot of the calls on the personal level is my best friend that was with me at Fort Hood, Texas every day, Specialist Gino Robles. His story's on my site. But it's hard when you've got somebody that's with you and your two youngest kids every day, every birthday party, Thanksgiving, Christmases, and buy gifts as if your kid was their own as well. And then one day you've been out of service 2 years. He had 2 tours in Iraq. But when we were out for 2 years, we kept in contact pretty good bit, and so I found it rare one day that he hadn't called me in a couple months, so I called him up we talked that night and talked. He was distressed, and we were over 1,000 miles apart. You know, being Nashville, Tennessee, and he was in Yakima, Washington. But one thing I tried to convince him that he had locked in his head was, I'm unforgivable. And I said, no, you're not. You're never unforgivable, and you know this. We've had many talks about faith and everything, just sitting on my living room couches and watching movies and listening to music and playing video games and everything. But a lot of people have that in their head, and when you can hear it in their voice that they have zero hope, you know something's going on. But my last words to him before he hung up was, it's kind of, I laugh at it now that I hear it in the Captain America movies between Bucky and Cap, but they both say, don't do anything stupid until I get there. And I kind of think about that. I said, don't do anything stupid until you call me, and then I'll talk you out of it. But I said, please come to Nashville one weekend. This city's alive 24 hours a day. There's always something to do. We could have some fun after work. And he said, I'll let you know, and hung up the phone. And that was the last thing I'd heard from him. And then a couple more months went by. It was March now. And I called him up, I think March of 2007. It's on the tombstone. Well, the date on the tombstone was the next day. There's some challenges right now. But my main goal is not only to prevent suicide and make awareness of it, but it's to also comfort the families, help the families that may, it's kind of hard to say it like this, but I've seen families go through it. I want to help families from it in the future. I don't want to see other families experience what I watched or what I felt. I don't want other friends to have to go through that. And I'm not the only one. I know there's people that experience it and people that feel it. But I wanted to speak to y'all today and introduce Contact After Combat for that purpose. If anybody needs to reach out, as the hashtag says, go to www.contactaftercombat.com. Somewhere in this video, in the description, I'll have it tagged all over, the logo, everything. But after y'all see this at Toyota today, I'm going to post it to YouTube, but you're the first one that's going to see it, and this story is going to go on my YouTube page once I know y'all had the opportunity first, since I was invited and asked to do this video presentation for y'all. I really wish I could be there in person to shake hands and talk to y'all one-on-one and, you know, pass out cards and everything, but the website has an email, a phone number, and that phone number is direct text. People still have a reach out and still have a contact for Contact After Combat. God bless all of y'all. Don't suffer in silence, and remember, hurting people can help hurting people heal. God bless all y'all. Have a great Veterans Day, and remember, all veterans, reach out to the ones hurting and trying to stay silent, and let's prevent a very large-scale problem.